Good morning, everybody. All right, what do we got today? We got Pikachu, card of the day. Everybody loves him. Signed by Midori Harada. Got it signed myself. I love this card. Alrighty, put it in the back. You know what it do. And we'll get this thing started. What is up, everybody? Good morning. I just woke up. It's about 9 a.m. here. And today I'm gonna make a video before work because I got work in a few hours. And last night I made a video late. And today we're just gonna spend some time with Jesus, go through the Word. Yesterday I thought I was gonna make a lot of money. I'm a server, right? And they were saying, "Oh, you got like a 30 top." So I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna walk out with a few $100. So I split the 30 top with my buddy, and turns out it was a bunch of elderly people. And I'm talking like 85, 90 years old. And let's just say they didn't really tip that well. I walked out with maybe $50, which, hey, I'll take it for a slow day. But the one gentleman, he was a World War II veteran. He was like 98 years old, fought in the Battle of Normandy. And I talked to him, shook his hand, said thanks for your service. And, you know, I realized it was just a privilege to serve those people. Sometimes I pray to God and I say, hey, God, I hope I make some money today. But yesterday it really wasn't about making money. It was about serving the elderly. And working with them or serving them kind of reminded me of my grandmother and my great-grandmother, who are old Pennsylvania Dutch women. So, you know, it was fun. But today we're going to look at some Jesus stuff because I've been reading Matthew and I have so many highlights. Jesus, it is profound, the amount of good wisdom he gives, just like daily stuff. So we're going to read some of this and get through it. I don't really have anything planned, but I know Jesus is going to lead us through. So I hope everyone's having a good morning. Grab a cup of coffee. If it's the afternoon, maybe grab an energy drink, and let's get to it. Okay, so boom, we're gonna read Matthew chapter 7 because it's right here in front of me. So it starts off, do not judge others and you will not be judged, for you will be treated as you treat others. So, you know, when you were on the bus and the bus driver said, treat others the way you want to be treated. Pretty standard stuff here, guys. But Jesus says the standard you use in judging is the standard by which you will be judged. So that's a little scary to think, man, I kind of judged other people pretty harshly. That's a standard that you will be judged by God. The next verse is, and why worry about a speck in your friend's eye when you have a log in your own? How can you think of saying to your friend, let me help you get rid of that speck in your eye, when you can't see past the log in your own eye? Hypocrite, first get rid of the log in your own eye, then you will see the well enough to deal with the speck in your friend's eye. Now, this hit me a lot harder after my brother passed. He struggled with addiction his whole life, and I am not unbeknownst to that struggle myself. But I thought that his addiction was so much deeper than mine, which you could say that it was, that, you know, it annoyed me, and I pushed him away sometimes, and I thought, you know, it's been so long, how can't you get it by now, kind of thing. But I realized, you know, a lot of that was my own addictions talking. And even though I think in my eye I have a speck, and in his eye he has a plank, the thing that's keeping me from seeing how he truly feels and his true struggle is me going through that same struggle myself. And you can't blame yourself. You know, addiction it's very deceptive and it's a horrible thing. But that really taught me, like, you know, if I have a problem with my friend, or, you know, I'm talking trash on one of my friends to another one of my friends, I realize, like, I don't like that. I don't like doing that anymore. And I need to figure out what's going on in me before I judge somebody else. Next verse, Don't waste what is holy on people who are unholy. Don't throw your pearls to pigs. They will trample your pearls and then turn and attack you. So if you're trying to help somebody and they're just disregarding everything you're saying, sometimes don't throw your pearls to pigs. Sometimes just move on. That's how I interpret it. Keep on asking and you will receive what you ask for. Keep on seeking and you will find. Keep on knocking and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives. Everyone who seeks finds. And to everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. You parents, if your children ask for a loaf of bread, do you give them a stone instead? Or if they ask for a fish, do you give them a snake? Of course not. So if you sinful people know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your heavenly Father give good gifts to those who ask him? And here's the golden rule again. Do to others whatever you would like them to do to you. This is the essence of all that is taught in the law and the prophets. You can enter God's kingdom only through the narrow gate. The highway to hell is broad, and its gate is wide for the many who choose that way. But the gateway to life is very narrow, and the road is difficult, and only a few ever find it. I pray we all find the narrow gate. I don't think people realize they're on the highway to hell. And I think a lot of people think they're going to heaven, but they might not be. And I pray that God intercedes in their lives, sends his prophets, sends his angels, sends his signs. He sent Jesus, but I pray that they learn who Jesus is. Beware of false prophets who come distinguished as harmless sheep, but are really vicious wolves. You can identify them by their fruit, that is, by the way they act. Can you pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? A good tree produces good fruit, and a bad tree produces bad fruit. A good tree can't produce bad fruit, and a bad tree can't produce good fruit. So every tree that does not produce good fruit is chopped down and thrown into the fire. Yes, just as you can identify a tree by its fruit, so too can you identify people by their actions. Not everyone who calls out to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven. Only those who actually do the will of my Father in heaven will enter. On Judgment Day, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, we prophesied in your name and cast out demons in your name and performed many miracles in your name. But I will reply, I never knew you. Get away from me, you who break God's laws. So right there, you probably hear that all the time, but those are the words that every Christian fears. No Christian wants to get to heaven and hear Jesus and hear God say, depart from me, that which I've never known, or you, I've never known you, depart from me. So that's why we're doing this today. That's why we do this every day. So when we get to heaven, God is proud of us. He says, my faithful servant, you have done well. You know, that's what we're doing right now. And just know that no good works we can do can buy the grace that Jesus has given to us. Our price was already paid. We do good faiths in Jesus because we love him, because we want to show that we appreciate what he did on the cross for us. I'm still learning. I'm not a teacher by any means. So I'm still trying to find the balance between serving God and knowing that you're already saved. But the fear of getting to the gates and having Jesus say, depart from me, I've never known you, is a lot. Anyone who listens to my teachings and follows it is wise, like a person who builds a house on solid rock. Though the rain comes in torrents and the floodwaters rise and the winds beat against that house, it won't collapse because it is built on bedrock. But anyone who hears my teaching and doesn't obey it is foolish, like a person who builds a house on sand. When the rains and floods come and the winds beat against that house, it will collapse with a mighty crash. When Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowds were amazed at his teachings, for he is taught with real authority, quite unlike the teachers of religious law. kind of going backwards here because that was the end of the Sermon on the Mount. But yeah, we'll get back into this. We'll read the rest of the Sermon on the Mount. For now, Matthew chapter 7. Hope this helped your morning a little bit. God bless all you guys. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Peace.